Yes, a band.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of People vs. Paranormal. I am Ben, and I am alone tonight because Sam is gone. I don't mean like he's dead or anything. Sam moved to Utah officially yesterday, so this will be like one of the first real podcasts without him. Once he's settled in, we'll do some via Skype or whatever. But I'm actually not alone tonight. We got Mr. Tim Aldridge is with us again.
Hey, how you doing?
And first time on the podcast, new addition to the PvP family is Anthony Mazur. He's one of our cameramen and now our AV tech. He's helping out with the podcast and stuff.
Howdy.
So Anthony's been with us on the last two investigations we did. We're going to go over some stuff tonight. We're not going to talk too much about one of them because I want to wait till we get Lauren, who I think she got bit by a zombie or something. She's sick, so...
Real sick, can't talk. That's why she's not here tonight.
Yep, so we will talk about our most recent investigation, which we're going over evidence now, and it is pretty crazy. Don't want to give too much away, but we may have the holy grail of paranormal evidence.
Ooh, that would be nice, definitely.
So we did the Victory Theater again, which, typical Victory Theater, there was a lot of hiccups on the way there, but we pulled through, we made it. We did an overnight. We got out of there at like 3 in the morning. Totally awesome. Some crazy stuff happened. We'll talk about that stuff on a later show. We're super excited to show you guys. But that was Anthony's first time with us.
Interesting. Was not what TV shows and movies make it seem like, I guess.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad you're here today, because usually you hear podcasts or you see these shows, and it's always the word of the investigators involved. You never hear from the behind-the-scene guys, so... You get to be quiet the whole time and just watch. So how was it for you, your first real paranormal investigation?
Wasn't like actually scary what you think it would be, because movies and TV shows portray everything as like stuff's going to jump out and get you or something terrible is going to happen. But it actually wasn't too bad. It was exciting.
Yep.
And yeah, that was...
Beautiful buildings.
Yes, amazing buildings. Awesome history.
Yep.
Great things to see. Like the environment is what movies look like, but... without the scary factor, I guess.
Yeah.
But exciting at the same time.
And one of the cool things is you don't see most of the evidence until you go home and watch it again.
Yeah, which is even better than when you're actually there, in a way.
Well, first and foremost, I'd like to interrupt and say, hey, man, welcome to the team.
Thank you.
You rocked. I'm telling you, your camera work was phenomenal, very professional.
Yep.
I enjoyed working with you. The guy was the mute through the whole thing, didn't say one word. I mean, he kept to task. It was impressive and very impressive. Plus, he had a background in, doing some of this stuff, so it was kind of nice for him to be able to sneak in and fit right in. I mean, just what we needed.
We've actually known each other, a decade now at least?
2003, I think.
Yeah. So.
You were at the gas station, and we played a show with you.
Oh, yeah, that's right, dude.
I
way back, the VFW, yeah. Yeah, I knew your dad, and we talked, and we played a show together. You were still in high school, weren't you?
I was... 14 or 15, I think.
Yeah, so wow, that's a long time ago.
He gave you one of our demos, and then we ended up playing the show.
Yep, and then we became friends over the years through tattoos, music, masks, anything horror related, pretty much everything. Pokemon.
Yeah, Pokemon, zombies, everything.
Yep. So.
Yeah, what an investigation though. Incredible. Can't wait to talk more about it.
Yep.
But
we did things a little different this time. We brought our psychic medium. Actually, we have two of them we have access of. Charlene and Angel. They did great. They kind of picked up on stuff that we picked up the first time, and they had no idea. So
yeah,
some
I'll
names,
tell you,
whatnot.
it was kind of crazy because Charlene, when I was up in the attic, the first thing she said, she comes over, I got something for you, and and she comes over and gives me a little bit of advice. She's like, you need this, I want you to be careful, and I'm like, okay.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm not going to say no because she's kind of important.
She cleansed you, and then when we watched the video,
Yeah,
there was
we
something that
found
happened.
out
We'll show
why.
you guys. If you guys have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you do so. The first episode of the People vs. Paranormal web show is up. First episode is actually at the Victory Theater. The first time when it was just me and you.
Yeah.
Then we have a couple more coming up. We have 6 have been filmed and are being cut up into 42-ish minute episodes. And some exciting stuff. Check out the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter. Like maybe we'll make a MySpace, a live journal. We don't know. We'll go back in time.
Yeah.
The sky's the
Bulletin
limit
board
right
services,
now. Yeah.
But yeah, so let's talk about some stuff we can talk about. Let's talk about the place we just did with Dan Overton was the one who got us access to this building. We met him through Victory Theater. Holyoke Prudential Plaza is the name on the side of the building. There was another name he had for the Pruitt's building, I believe was the other name.
Prohibition, I think.
Yeah, it was some other name.
Yeah.
Built in 1906, 1926,
Yeah,
something like that.
I think it was 06.
8-story building plus a basement. We stayed out of the basement. It's kind of treacherous. But, yeah, what an experience, huh? Because, it was just an old empty lawyer building pretty much, and some crazy stuff kind of happened. And now that we're watching the evidence, we're like, oh, my God, more happened than we knew about.
Yeah, I mean, we were constantly chasing shadows,
Yeah.
noises, sounds, voices. It was a unbelievable experience because, this building was multiple stories, and we weren't sure what to expect. It was uncharted territory.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever done
No
an
claims of
investigation.
paranormal activity. Dan just said, hey, I have this building I can get you in. You want to check it out?
Sure, absolutely. We'll check out any building.
And
The basement would have been nice if it was a little bit more non-dangerous. But,
Yeah.
there's too many hazards
there's
down there.
pitfalls, punji sticks, pendulums with blades on them. It's crazy.
Yeah, serious head injuries down there with low pipes and so. But
Bunch of little Indian children chiseling away at the walls, and this guy named Indiana came through and saved them all.
yeah, it was definitely
Dr.
something strange. But yeah, we did have some. I can't wait to show the evidence because some of the stuff that we came out with, chasing a little girl around. Me and Lauren were in one of the lawyer rooms, and there was this little girl that came through, and pretty intense and interesting because now that we're seeing the evidence, which you'll see soon, it just backs up everything that we heard and everything that we chased around.
So, Anthony, this was your second time with us.
Yep.
Have you ever experienced the paranormal before this stuff? What's your first experience with the other side?
Honestly, I've had so many, but I do what probably most people do, and that was just a dog, or that was a cat, or that was the wind. So it wasn't anything too substantial, I guess.
Yeah.
It was just minor things. I thought I saw somebody, but it's oh no, it was probably something out of the corner of my eye that was explainable, basically.
Okay, so you're a believer, though.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
But it's I don't know how you would tell somebody when you're younger, I think I just saw something, or I just heard something, or is that person actually really there? And it's kind of something that you start to figure out for yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Imaginary friend syndrome. Most people
Yeah.
have that. It's just an imaginary friend. Don't worry about it.
That's what Patty said in the last one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely seen many things, but I'm looking forward to working, with this team and going in bigger and better places. We have so much that's coming up.
Yeah.
Just exciting. We're running
some
into
big things we're hoping.
Yeah.
And I noticed, too, it seems like, a lot of people have said this, on the TV shows. I think Patty might have said it, too. The more you open yourself up to this stuff, the more it comes out to you. And it seems like the more investigations we're doing, the more activity we're picking up.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember when we started, it'd be 1 or 2 EVPs, if that, and now we're getting figures walking across camera and stuff moving and screams and yells and bangs, and
Yeah, and then names called multiple times.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, what, in the last 3 or 4 investigations, my name's been called out multiple times.
That one investigation got tired of it. I think I even texted you. I was like, Tam. Sorry,
Yeah.
Ghost got my phone.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
Tim's got his own fan club over on the other side.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, you know, and to have him call out your name, and then of course Lauren had an interesting thing at the theater too, you know, when it called out my name and expletive.
Yeah, we can swear on the show.
Yeah,
it was
so
like
it's
fuck Tim.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when it comes out like that, you're like, what is this all about? But you know, I immediately went up there and tried to find some information and find out what's going on. Why you pissed off at me?
Yep.
But it wouldn't interact with me anymore after that. So. Maybe next time. I mean,
we've been so busy doing this video work over the last, 2 weeks now?
Roughly, yeah, 2 weeks.
I mean, the big thing, too, is that there's so many big things coming for us.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the opportunities are opening for us. You know, we're looking at, you know, a restaurant in Stafford again. Or
An old
Connecticut
mental
again.
hospital. We got a lead from, we actually reached out to a state representative, and he called the next day and hooked us up with some phone numbers, some emails. So, like,
for a local place, yeah,
local
which
place,
would be
we
real
won't
nice.
say yet. You don't want to curse it. You know, we don't want to say any name until the paperwork is signed.
Yeah,
But,
don't worry though. That's the future's just starting to look hugely bright for us.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, it helps that we have such a good team. I mean, we're both grounded. We're all grounded. You know, and to look at it professionally. I mean, we want to show it as respectfully as possible. You know, we're not trying to go out there to make things worse or conjure things or, you know, I mean, that's the thing. We're just going in there with clear heads and clean conscience and, you know, try to get as much evidence. And it's worked for us. You know, that's the good thing is like we've gone in there and, you know, asked, you know, why are you still here? You know, can you give us some this type of sound or knock? And I mean, we've gotten really good at getting some evidence.
Yep.
You know, and hopefully, like I said, that holy grail in this new video that we're going to be sharing.
I'm excited.
You know, that's pretty cool. That was a good thing. But these places are just falling in our lap.
Yep.
You know, which is good. Dan's been phenomenal.
Yes, thank you, Dan, if you're listening.
Yeah,
yeah. You know, this area is just ripe with places, I think. Just the history of New England alone. It's the oldest part of the country. So much to do out here.
Which is weird because not that many shows do it.
Yeah, they're all over.
For some reason.
Like the theater we did.
Yeah.
It was, the next block over was the 8-story building we just did.
Right.
And now they're talking about the town hall or city hall next door, and then down the
yeah.
street maybe something like.
You know, well, it was good to hook up with them too, though, because
Yep.
you know they're like, you're our paranormal group,
Yep.
and I'm like, when someone says that to you, it's like, wow, that's great because
Yep.
they respect what we do, you know, and we're professional. You know, we don't just trespass and you know and borrow someone's camera and break into places. We're very respectful, you know, and to have our liability insurance is huge.
Yep.
You know,
Do it right, kids.
absolutely. So let's talk about Sam a little bit. You know, it's missing that guy.
Miss that dude.
You know, he was a big part of this team. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you guys are co-founders. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
our friendship started pretty much with PvP.
but here's the thing. The way I thought about it is, it's not goodbye.
No,
It's we'll see you later
Yep.
because eventually we're going to get back together.
Oh
and-
yeah, we're gonna stay in touch. We're gonna visit. He's very close to a very haunted place out there, so maybe a trip for all of us if we ever can get some money. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's going to happen for us. You know, we'll talk
Yeah.
about our our fundraiser that we're looking to do.
Yep.
That's something that's going to be up and coming within the next couple months.
Yep.
And
That
would
would be a big road trip for us to New York, West Virginia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's a road trip, and then that'd be some more podcasts and shows for us to do. And
Speaking of shows, if anyone out there knows how to edit video really well, I could use some help. This takes way too long.
yeah,
But you're doing a good job, though. It's
Yeah,
coming
it
out
just
great.
takes forever.
yeah, it's a long process. You know, unfortunately, on my end, I'm working all the time, but
Yeah.
you know, as far as you're doing a great job, man. Gotta tell
Trying, you know. This team deserves it.
you. Yeah.
The fans deserve it.
Yes, they do. So, Anthony, tell me a little bit about yourself. As far as your first, you got to talk about your first paranormal experience, even if it was out of the side of your eye, like you said, or you know just let us
What
know
made you believe? I guess is.
Well, I always like started off like watching like Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo was always like my thing that I always watched. The Ghostbusters animated series I always watched, with like the movie like The Frighteners. I keep telling you, that was like the movie that like always like got me into it. And literally just as a kid, like I'd always like see things or things would happen. And as a kid, you like obviously have an imagination, but at the same time, you're like, well, could that actually be real? Did it actually happen? And it was just like small little like nuances and like things like that where I can't really think of anything like off the top of my head if I had like a longer time to think about it.
So
Maybe.
have you ever seen like a full body apparition or anything that crazy yet, or is it just the small stuff here and there?
I swear there's something at my work in my basement that follows me around. Yeah. Whether it's a guy or girl, I don't know. But I always see it just out of the corner of my eye when I turn my head and I look. It's there, and then when I fully actually like turn and look, it is gone. Yeah. But I swear there's something down there every single day. I always hear noises. Things are always moving and stuff. So it's like a day-to-day thing. Yeah.
Yeah, my basement at work too is the same way. We got a woman who likes to scream a lot, just full scream. Yep. You know, and some of the staff that I work with, they're like, "Yeah, that girl's screaming again down the hall. Can't you do something about it? You have a paranormal team. Can you come here and get rid of her?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I'm gonna go down there. You're evicted. Yeah, that's gonna work." You know, but yeah, it's those experiences though you don't forget.
Yeah.
You know, it's Ben's got some pretty good experiences, though.
Oh, too many to count.
Too many. Yeah. Well, you grew up in a haunted house,
the
too.
The funny thing about that house is at work one day, a lady came in. I recognized the last name. I used to work with her son. They actually live in the house I grew up, the one, if you look out this window, right down the street. And I told him before that the house was haunted. And he's like, "Yeah, I think my mom sees stuff, but she's afraid to admit it." So she came into my work, and I'm like, "Oh, you know, how's your son doing? I worked with him. You know, I lived in your house growing up." And she's like, "Oh, yeah, nice to meet you." And then she stops. She looks at me and goes, "Let me ask you something. When you lived there, did, like, weird stuff happen, like doors open on their own or lights go on and off?" Or I'm like, "Oh, you're talking about the ghosts?" And she goes, "Yeah." I go, "Yeah, it's two old ladies. They're nice." And she goes, "Okay, I just want to make sure."
Yeah, right.
So that was kind of a cool, like, you know,
it's nice to have that
30 years later and still hearing about the ladies.
Nice. That's good. That's a good thing, though. You know, I mean, she can have some, not really closure, but some comfortability knowing that it's not anything that's going to harm her in any way. Yep. You know. So let's talk about some plans. You know, what our next step is. Where do we want to go?
Well, this is what I'm thinking. This is what I've been preparing for my whole life. We just finished recording our first season, so we got to get these episodes out. That's going to be a big help of getting our name out there. That's one thing you have to do is get your name out if you want to make it bigger. You know, we're pushing the Facebooks, the Instagram, Twitter. You know, slowly they're going up. We got to start booking for the summer, which, you know, I think we need to take a little time to review all this evidence, get the videos out. After that, we should book a good 12 investigations. Yeah. And just go over the top with those. We talked about the 3 for the big tour we want to do when we do our fundraiser. Some more local places. You know, the thing is, all these places I want to do, they cost money. Yeah. Which it's good because it keeps the place open for people like us, but at the same time, it's a lot of money. Like, some are on average like $1,500. But, you know, that's what our fundraisers are for. You know, we all got brand new vehicles now, so we can actually do the driving.
Thank God.
You know, my little piece of shit Neon wouldn't make it out of the driveway half the time, let alone cross country.
Yeah, I had a Ranger Danger. My truck was definitely it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad when you go to the garage and he says, "Yeah, I put it on a lift and then I dropped it down from the lift and rolled it out of my garage." He's like, "Your frame is it's imploding on itself. It's broke and you can't drive it." So that was the unfortunate thing. But you know, now I got a new Honda, so I'm kind of happy about that.
Yeah, things are happening for a reason. Like, we're getting all these things that are just pushing us in the right direction. So,
yeah, we're actually looking at a couple places in Connecticut too, which is nice. We'll start spreading out. You know, I'm
kind of excited for some of them. I looked up one of them, and it's a pretty big place. It looks interesting.
Yeah. Well, we can't say too much about it. We don't want to put our, the cart before the horse, so to speak.
Yeah. But we got back in touch with a PvP friend, David Worth, and he's one of those guys that knows everyone.
Yeah, a man with many hats and talents. Yeah. So I'll be meeting with him this coming week, and just kind of putting some stuff down on paper and making some appointments to sit down and set up our 12 investigations. I mean, I think he has at least 4 or 5 of them for us.
I'll take them.
Yeah, so
And,
which is good.
Pretty exciting too. Lauren just joined the team not too long ago, and
She's awesome.
it was either at one of the investigations or me and Anthony met up with her at Victory to do a couple more, like a little photo shoot / like some extra footage for the web show. And we asked her, like, oh, did you ever think you'd be this busy? And she's like, are you kidding me? So, like, I was telling Gary I had to go do another investigation. He's like, what the hell? When we were in a group, we didn't get this many.
Yeah, that was last week, actually. Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, it seems like every week, every 2 weeks we're doing, not even like a small one, like they're big now. Like,
Yeah. Giant movie theaters, cinemas. And
skyscrapers.
Skyscraper
Now we're looking
buildings.
maybe that hotel. Hopefully we'll see if we can get in there.
Yeah.
A bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, we'll take it. We still probably going to do some smaller ones. Like I said, I want to get back to the town of Wales again. Town I grew up in. We did a lot of stuff when I first joined the team.
Yeah.
We got access to the whole town of Wales, which was nice.
I want to redo a lot of those places now that we have better equipment. We can better document. We know what we're doing. Positive team. Like,
absolutely,
we got everything going.
Good
for us.
vibes. Yeah, so that's coming up. That's going to be in a short month.
Yeah.
And then we're, like I said, we got to get through all this stuff that we have left over, and make sure that we do right by the people who are allowing us to do this.
Yeah. It's kind of cool, like talking about revisiting places. I don't know if you noticed, like when we went to Victory, we've been there before. Like I had done a tour there before, so I've been there like 4 or 5 times now. This was your second time there. It's almost like the spirits there remembered us.
Yeah, they're comfortable.
And they're getting more and more comfortable with us.
Yep.
Like even when we did the video shoot the third time.
Yeah.
It was the middle of the day, and we're just hearing voices. The doors were slamming.
All day long, actually.
We're here, guys. We didn't bring you anything this time. If you bribe your spirits, it works really well. We found out.
Yeah, with spirits.
Yeah, whiskey works real well. But yeah, it's just there were some cool things when we went back for the film shoot. There is the whiskey we left.
Yes, that was gone.
Was totally gone.
Yep.
Candy was still intact. The popcorn was totally missing.
Completely missing. Yep.
And then the flowers had been there for about 3 weeks and not even starting to wilt yet. They're still like fresh flowers. Those were left
there
with
is that female spirit that our median had brought. She had brought them for her.
Yep.
And said, I need to give these flowers to her. So maybe she's tending to them.
So definitely kind of cool how they remember you. I think the intelligent ones can.
Yeah, and especially when they're now starting to call me by name. And, especially, I don't know why they would say, fuck Tim. That was kind of an odd thing, but...
Well, it's kind of funny. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about Victory, because there were some cool things. Like, the first time we brought them treats.
Yeah.
And that's how they got talking. And we said we'd go back and give them some more stuff. Which we did. We brought them
what was it?
The whiskey, the candy,
popcorn.
some flowers, popcorn, some typical fun stuff.
Well, don't forget, the first time we were there, we actually did bring a movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a perfect time era. Plus, of course, we played Star Wars too. So I mean, had to do that, and they loved it.
When we brought the stuff and we started giving it to them the second time we were there, remember the activity picked up a little more. I remember that's when we started smelling the cigar.
Yeah, the food,
and
all upstairs.
Then we went upstairs,
Italian
and we
food.
it smelled like pizza to the point where it smelled like it was next to us, and we heard the footsteps in the attic.
Yep.
And the smell was so strong, the sounds were so loud. Remember, we almost stopped filming because we're like, "Yo, there's a homeless guy hiding in the attic. We got to go kick this guy out." And that's when the spirit box were like, "What else do you want?" And it came through. It's like pizza, burger, cigar, like everything we were smelling.
Yep,
the words
that's
came
what was
out.
coming
So like
through.
maybe they're like, "Yo, here's our order for next time you guys come." Like,
And the thing too about that is, the viewers, the people who are listening to our podcast now, we weren't next door. There was not a building attached that had a pizza place.
Nope.
It wasn't.
we're in the ghetto.
separate-
There's nothing here but like the
separate entity completely. And to smell something like that, that's why we were so like, there's got to be a homeless man brought something upstairs, and.
I think that was the first time I've really been afraid on a case.
Yeah.
And it wasn't ghosts. I'm like, this guy is going to shank us with a syringe or something,
Yeah, so and I volunteered, well, let me just go up in the attic and see if someone's up there.
And then the evidence we got in the scene is absolutely amazing. So make sure you subscribe, like, share.
You got to
You'll
watch
see
it.
it soon.
What an unbelievable experience.
Yeah.
It goes up there with the top 5 experiences for me because it was pretty neat. course, it was a 25-foot or 20-foot ladder that was wooden that I had to crawl up there too. So
straight up in the air.
I'm teetering with a tripod and a camera, and I'm asking questions. And mind you, this whole attic area is untouched. There's no animal scat. There's nothing up there. There was
it's just beams. There's not even a floor.
Yeah, and it was just an unbelievable spot. And I'm teetering over the edge, and something really wanted to push me, and I would have just fell down. But we were safe. We made sure I grounded myself so I didn't fall down.
We got a lot of visual evidence on investigation. Stuff on the thermal, the cameras.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in the basement.
Yeah,
especially.
Yeah, that basement was something
There
straight
was
out
a
of a horror
different
movie.
vibe. Like halfway through the night, I don't know if you guys noticed it. It felt a little darker there, like a little
Very
more
dark. Yeah.
malevolent, I guess.
Yeah, and the stuff that we were seeing too was totally different. One thing was in the boiler room area,
Yeah.
where that color, that light was up. We thought it had to be a cobweb because of the way it was, but there was no cobwebs. There was nothing, and it was bouncing around, and it went behind beams, and you caught that arm or that elbow that was coming from one room to the other.
Yeah.
So you definitely got to subscribe to it to see the whole video. It's phenomenal. It was an amazing experience.
Yep. Feel very blessed that we get stuff like this. Like a lot of times you go to an investigation and you get nothing.
And it's always been like that. I think since we've all been together, I think we've got evidence in just about every investigation we've done.
Oh yeah, plenty.
And we've gone to investigations. We could talk about Spencer. We thought for sure there was nothing there. It was just a complete training exercise. We laughed our asses off at Burger King at like 2:00 in the morning, joking around about it. And then there was a rainy day. Ben decided to check some footage, and we got one of the best pieces of evidence we've had.
Yeah, two.
Two.
The apparition and the blanket being pulled.
And the blanket being pulled.
Oh yeah, those videos.
That was crazy. So always be due diligence and check your evidence because you don't want to miss anything.
Yep. It pays off in the end.
And we can go to the pictures too. Same thing. Lauren was gonna.
Oh yeah. She just posted that on our Facebook. The theater. I'd say a half body apparition because there's no legs, but it's a guy in a coat with a hat.
Yeah, leaning up against the post there, and there was nobody in the theater, so it was that was pretty amazing. And she had said, she goes, I was about ready to delete all the pictures, and she said, she checked on that one, and lo and behold, there was something there.
I would say never get rid of your stuff. Hold on to it forever. I have tapes from videos of hunts we did back in 2008, 2009. Well, keep those just in case.
Oh yeah, well, you just think, we all want to get to where that evidence is going to come up. I'm going to say, look, this was our old school stuff. We're going to do an episode of just old school stuff, you know.
And plus, as you do it for years and years, you train yourself better to find certain things.
Yeah.
So then you go back and you're like, oh, I missed that before.
I got to do a shout out to Patty Negri though, because the information I was unable to be during the podcast that you guys did, but used a lot of her advice the last investigation, and it worked.
Yeah, we even used her little Ma chant that
we
talked about. So thank you, Patty. We love you.
Yeah, thank you so much. One of the things that she had mentioned was sometimes you have to teach them how to use the electronics just like you would teach anybody else. Yep. And using some of the equipment, I was like, let me show you how this works. And it worked. It was something that, we hadn't done before. We were just like, okay, try it. Here it is, you know. Can you make that light go on? Now I was explaining to them how they can make the light go on. You just got to touch this spot, and it'll make a connection.
Yep.
And worked well.
Yeah,
worked well.
I figure most spirits aren't from our time.
No, and they might not be the smartest tools in the shed. Or
what in tarnation this thing be?
They might not be the smartest dust in the shed.
What can you
do? but it worked out well. I mean, it was a good piece of evidence, and for her to just say, just to give us that information, because she's not about the technology, but for her to take that and say, this technology everybody's using, this is something that everybody can use. Yep. And she was intrigued and excited about it. So,
make sure you guys follow her too on the Facebook, Instagram, I think her YouTube, Twitter. She's got them all. So
I mean, just go online, look her up.
She's a great person.
She's phenomenal.
She's got a lot of useful information, and her stuff is awesome. So check her out.
Yeah. What a great piece of information we can get from her. She's phenomenal. Yep. So what's up, Anthony? Look at you, Mr. Quiet over there. He doesn't talk much.
He's always been the quiet one.
He's like, I want to be behind the cameras because I don't want to say nothing. which is fun.
That's actually when
I'd rather listen than talk. So.
our camera, our usual
What?
guys got sick the day of victory. You know, it's the victory curse, I'm going to call it, because something always goes wrong when we go there.
Yeah, Sam
And
got
they got the
sick.
same thing that Sam got the
Mhm.
first time when Sam missed it. And I was like, who can I get? And like, there's all these other guys I had in reserves that have been bugging me. And every time I text them, I'm like, hey, could use you tonight. Oh, I can't tonight. I'm doing this, you know, or I got plans, or I'm working. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, shit, why did I never ask Anthony? Like,
Yeah.
we talk like all the time, hang out like every day. And I was like, I don't know if you'd be into it. And then he's like, yeah, I'll be there. So we had him like load up. I was like, bring a skateboard so we can do some rolling shots. And like,
And the funny part, it was like, oh my god, he's really asking me. Like, I've wanted to ask, but I don't want to be the person to ask. So it's like, it's really happening. Like, this
Yep.
is like amazing.
and that's
Yeah.
what you said too. You're like, I've always wanted to do like camera work or behind the scenes for something like this. So it worked out.
Yeah, and he did a little bit of acting for us too, which was
Oh, yeah,
kind of
yeah.
Yeah.
A couple times actually.
That was
On
phenomenal.
the episode of PvP entitled "Return to Victory," you will see some kind of junkie
yeah.
at some point that may or may not be Anthony in disguise.
Yeah, pretty
And
awesome.
then he actually helped us out when we needed a second one during a weeknight because
Yep.
Tyler and Presby can't do weekdays at all. So.
Yeah.
And Anthony's like, oh, I can get a guy from work. He's never done this before, but I'll run it through him or
it through
run him through it.
Yep.
I guess he's not going to murder the guy.
Gonna run
No.
him through.
So, yeah, and Brandon did awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He actually
Yeah,
was one of the
we
ones
were-
I got one of the good pieces of evidence so far from the Prudential Plaza.
Yeah, he did it. Yeah, he did a good job. I was impressed too. You know, for a guy who hadn't done it.
Even though he fell.
Yeah.
Well, you know,
It
isn't
was
that on the
grateful.
bloopers?
Yeah, we're
It was
gonna we're
graciously.
just busting his ass. He was worried about that all night, but we all actually fell at one point during that
Yep,
investigation
yep.
because it was so dark.
Oh yeah.
Plus the stairs.
Yeah, it was a dangerous place at points. So, but
Yeah, but I can't
everyone's
wait to
doing
go
good.
back.
So yeah, what do we have for time?
About
Oh,
30
half hour in. Jeez.
Yeah.
Half hour. We still got a lot of stuff to talk about. Ben, I was thinking about some things. What is your feeling about outdoor investigations? Like,
Do you want the truth?
of course, I want the
All right,
truth.
let
Come
me put
on.
on my serious radio face here. I fucking hate them. I'll be honest. There's tons of cool places outside, but you can't count any evidence.
Nope.
Your audio gone.
Yep.
Could be bird, car, person, crackhead, freaking whatever. Your video could be car, person, crackhead, whatever. Like
Bird.
everything. Like inside, you got four walls around you that.
What was that? Squirrel.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's those the haunted, I think like parks, whatever. in
I want to go to Fall River. That's why I'm
Yeah.
asking. I
mean,
would
I
like
will
to
do
go to
them,
Fall River.
But I'm gonna be the evidence Nazi, and you could show me a ghost pull out his dick and slap you in the face with it. I'm gonna be like, no, it was a squirrel.
Squirrel.
Squirrel, definitely a squirrel.
with a big dick apparently.
Yeah.
Man, you see the nuts on that squirrel?
That's just like outdoor evidence or outdoor investigations and orbs are like
Yeah.
peeves of mine. You know, pet peeves. Like, you don't have enough control of the situation.
No, understandably so. And I see where your theory is, and I understand totally, but I still want to go to Fall River.
I'll go. You know, people can argue too that all the stuff I just mentioned, the crackhead squirrels or whatever, they can come inside.
Yeah.
they can, but less likely.
Yeah, right. It was a controlled environment. Yeah, it's uncontrolled environment. Being out in the woods, like you said, it could be anything. Well, what was that? Branch could have fell on the ground. You know?
Yeah, there's just too many outside contaminants.
But-
But I will do them. So I'm a team player, and I will do it with a smile, with the best intentions.
And the thing
And-
is, too, the state park that I'm talking about in Fall River,
Yep.
it's part of what is that triangle?
Isosceles,
Isosceles? Yeah, no.
equilateral.
No, it's a triangle where there's a lot of paranormal stuff all in there. As a matter of fact, Lizzie Borden Hotel is there.
Yeah.
But it's state park that I was reading information. Unfortunately, I don't have all the information right now, but I thought I'd bring it up because I think that's a good road trip.
Yep.
Possibly. We got to find out
I'll
some
investigate
info.
anywhere. If you guys out there have any place cool that you would help us get into,
Of course,
or
permission
point us in the right
by
way, like
the
say,
homeowner, so
even
on
if
and
you
so
say,
forth.
"Hey, I heard this place might be haunted," let us know. We're trying to stay within like a few 100-mile radius right now, just till we get our name out a little more. Like,
Yeah.
Florida would be a little rough, but like West Virginia is not a problem.
Right.
We're in
that
Massachusetts, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm down for investigating anywhere.
All right, yeah, we're definitely gonna look at that. But I'm also looking at something, and you're going to be a big part of it. Is the vault? We're going to go into a cemetery vault.
Oh, the vault.
Dad, you probably saw that flashlight experiment that we had in the vault.
Are you afraid of spiders?
Yeah.
Because Sam would not go in this building or this vault.
I'm not a fan of them.
It's a crypt.
Well, it's not like you go in there and they're pulling out switchblades. Like, they'll leave you alone.
Yeah. Cemeteries are no problem. I like cemeteries, actually.
Yeah.
Well, here's
peaceful,
the thing.
But
This is underground under the cemetery. It's a little...
Yeah, it's
12 by
underground.
12
spiders
room.
and
it's
slightly claustrophobic. Huh.
Yeah,
That'll
well,
be fun.
you can handle it.
Oh, yeah, as long as I don't hit my head.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll have the
Good to
key.
go.
you can duck down. You'll be good. But yeah, that's something I'm looking at too. I had already talked to David Worth about it, and getting back there would be phenomenal because we had some really good evidence. When
We should do
first
that.
started.
Tonight we do the town hall again.
Yeah, and the Hearst House.
In the Hearst house.
Yep, want to get back in the Hearst House. That's a phenomenal place.
It's an old hearse from like the 1800s, horse-drawn hearse.
Really?
Horse-drawn
Horse-drawn
hearse. Okay.
Yeah, you were right.
I got it right.
Yeah, I think it's late 1700s.
We actually all took turns laying inside of it, trying to get evidence.
Hmm.
It's pretty cool. It
Yeah.
smelled like just musty, old,
Yeah.
dusty
I can imagine.
farts or something.
yeah, but it was
Mummy farts?
Yeah,
it was
mummy
actually
farts.
pretty neat though. Good place. But the town hall. Let's talk about the town hall. That was phenomenal.
Yeah, we got a video up on our Facebook. I think has one, and the YouTube of
One of the best-
walkie-talkie, I believe it's called,
Yeah, one of the best light anomalies I think
which
I've ever
we'd
seen.
even notice.
Yeah, and it changed like 8 different colors.
Yeah, went around a pole and weaved in and out. There is one thing about this investigation that reminded me of something. I'd like to point this out to all the paranormal investigators out there. Make sure you contact your local authorities and let them know you will be investigating this building before
Yes.
you go in, because we got a nice surprise at 3 a.m. from the state police.
That was that one.
When they kicked in the doors and we all had to like drop what we were holding. Me and Tim were stuck in a crawl space under the building, and we were like, we can't get out, we can't get out.
Come up. Everybody upstairs now. That's what they said. I want IDs now. And I'm like, whoa. I'm trying to get out of here. You don't
Like,
understand.
we have the key to the
way in
building.
back.
Like David said, we could come in. Oh, okay.
Oh, you guys do that? Wow, yeah, you think this place is haunted? We're like, well, I don't know now because
Yeah,
you
you just
messed up all
ruined-
our evidence. But yeah, always call, the police department and explain to them. But, the most important thing is get permission.
Yeah.
Don't ever break into a place. Don't trespass. Don't do any of that, because what happens is that stops guys like us to get investigations and to actually get evidence and to document stuff.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing you can do. Is to go into a place and kick a door in and do some some pictures. And I know there's a lot of places where people do abandoned places.
Yeah.
Yes, abandoned places I've seen some of this pictures. Abandoned places is one thing when it's in the middle of the woods and it's a shack. But when you're going in a building and you can tell that it's abandoned, but it says no trespassing on the wall, that means don't go in there. You could take pictures on the outside. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it says no trespassing, that's what it means. Absolutely no trespassing. It gives us a bad name. It gives all the paranormal investigators a bad name. The first thing they say is the last person said they were taking pictures. Oh, they broke in here and destroyed things. So please listen up and don't do that.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I think we talk about that every episode of this podcast because it's that important.
Yeah,
Be professional.
Yeah, it's respect. It's you're going into places that haven't been. We've gone into places haven't been. One was 1981 was the last place the theater was open.
Not to mention, like, some of these places might be closed for like safety reasons, like asbestos, booby traps, ghost pirates,
broken stairs.
Yeah, so it might be to save your own neck too. We don't want to hear that a would-be investigator fell down a mine shaft and broke his neck. I think that actually happened.
That happened. Yeah,
out in like Montana or something.
Yeah.
Ghost Adventures had gone
Yeah,
there.
I assume they weren't by themselves.
I don't know, but the kid fell down a
it's
elevator shaft.
elevator shaft,
broke
an
his neck.
open elevator shaft. Died.
Yeah, it's like probably the worst thing too, doing things by yourself with nobody.
Yeah, because then there's no way of
Who's
getting
gonna
help.
help you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Buddy system, we're firm believers. Like, you may see us on our videos once in a while by ourselves. We're not by ourselves. You got the cameraman behind you, or you have the camera. Like, the next closest investigator is like the next room over down the
Shouting
hall.
distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, always safety first.
We always bring glow sticks. Put them in your bags now. Go. We'll wait. Okay. Use those to mark the evil, dangerous places at night, so you can see them, like the holes, the pipes. Like,
Yeah, we've had to use that a few times in the
No,
last
save your
investigation. You know, there was a hole in the wall, a hole in the floor that was, you know, a big gap. You know, it would have been an ankle breaker.
Oh, definitely.
So
Safety first.
yeah, throw some glow sticks down there. At least be safe.
We should have like little ghost hunting tips we do with like a little cartoon ghost will pop up. Like,
Right.
hi everyone, welcome to PvP Ghost Safety Tips. I'm Mr. Boo.
You know what? And we're here to tell you that you have to be safe at all times.
Lesson number 1: glow sticks are your friends.
Squirrel.
Look out for squirrels.
Big balls with squirrels. You know, you got to watch them too.
There was one actually in the last one.
Yep.
There was a big bald squirrel.
There was actually.
Yeah.
Dan had it in his hands.
Yeah.
Dan had.
Oh no, it was a pigeon.
That was a pigeon.
No, I thought he had.
Yeah,
No, the squirrel was up top. That's
Yeah,
right.
the squirrel was running
pigeon.
around. He caught the pigeon.
Yes, he did have the
Because
pigeon.
we got attacked by. He said there was bats there now too. He texted me the
Was
other
there?
day.
Nice. Well, that's
So
good.
speaking of big bald animals, we went
Oh,
off
yeah.
topic real quick.
I
Or are
love
we
it.
just going to start a new podcast? Hello, welcome to Big Bald Animals. This is Ben, Tim, and Anthony.
Hey, wow. Yeah. How did you hold? Who held the wings to look at the big balls on that bat?
It was like
Anthony.
it was you had to stretch. It was
Where's
one,
Anthony?
yeah, one on each side. You
Yeah.
stretch it out.
I see.
And how did we go back to ghosts from that?
I don't
What's
know.
our segue here? Like, I don't think there is one.
Hey,
No.
that's okay. That's okay. We can talk about everything.
Yep. Actually, speaking of talking of everything, because we are a paranormal podcast, we're not a specifically ghost or spirit podcast. So let's go around the room and talk about, like, are you guys believers in anything else paranormal? Like aliens, Bigfoot, Jersey Devil, Sam Squanch,
Yeah, you know, it's
Mothman.
Mothman?
yeah. I mean, you know, I did have a UFO experience when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was 12 actually, and I lived in Wales. I grew up in Wales, and we were woken up at 2:00 in the morning. My mom's like, "Hey, there's a bright light out back," and I'm like, "What are you talking about, Mom?" You know, I'm like, she's like, "Come on." So my mom, you know, God bless her soul, she had big balls. I'll tell you.
Speaking of animals with
just
big
saying.
balls.
I'm just saying, some of the stuff my mom would go through, and she'd be like, "I'm just going to bed." We went out back, and there was a huge bright light in the sky, and you know, and that was my first experience with UFOs. I mean, I believe that there's something else out there. You
I
know,
do too. The universe is too big of a place. Like, we cannot be a fluke, you know, like
No.
a freak accident.
We're
Right.
definitely not the smartest thing alive either.
Yeah,
That's-
it's just they're probably way too far away to even know. Like, the size of the universe, come on, like,
Yeah.
we're not even a speck in that.
no, and you know, we all could talk
Like,
about
if
Area 51.
if the universe
too,
was a big bald animal, it'd be like a buffalo, and we'd be like not even a flea. Like,
right? Absolutely, and so many uncharted territory out there. I mean, the Amazon itself.
Yep.
I mean, there's so many places there. There could be a new species out there that nobody
they find new
knows.
species of animals
especially,
all
yeah,
the
especially
time.
in the ocean stuff. There's
Yeah.
new things every day
Well,
found.
So you know, I mean, getting on to another thing, Bigfoot. I mean,
100% believe it.
absolutely,
I believe it, 100%.
absolutely. You know, and the thing is, there's been some very, very good evidence that's been out there, and it's been picked
Yep.
apart. And you know, I mean, they've tried to check to make sure somebody wasn't, falsifying
Yeah.
some sort of video, and couldn't find any evidence that
Yep.
it was falsified. So, you know, I mean, I'm one of those. I'm a believer of pretty much. You know, if I haven't seen it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Loch Ness Monster. Believe in that too.
Nope. Yeah, that place is so.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
huge.
Loch
There's
Ness
probably
is
so much stuff
so-
down there.
They've actually put subs down there.
Yeah.
Those, and they couldn't get to some places. It was so
look
far.
at like up until recently, the chupacabra was nothing
Yeah.
but a myth,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
now they know exactly what it is. It's
Yep.
some kind of like dog hyena
Yeah.
hybrid in Mexico.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
Yeah.
actually see that.
yeah, they
Yeah.
got little videos. Like, there's a video of a guy's car being chased by one, and
Damn.
it's like
I guess I
Yeah.
have to get on the internet more.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's a hybrid. You know, and
it's
that's
just like
the
some
thing, but-
mongrel species of a
Oh, like-
canine.
Yeah, like how foxes and wolves breed and stuff like
yeah,
that.
Yep.
or like how like a donkey and a horse
Yeah.
They have mules
the zebra,
and the
yeah,
zores.
yeah,
You
the
know,
zores
there are
and stuff.
species that can intermingle.
Yep, yep.
And,
Is that an ass horse?
huh?
What's that? An ass horse?
What?
A donkey and a horse?
No,
Ass horse?
Yeah, ass
The weird thing
I
about
was just
those,
wondering.
though, like only a few of them live, and then they actually can't reproduce again.
Yeah.
Like once that one is dead, it's dead, and they have to make a new one.
Yep.
Which
And
is
then
crazy.
they find, like, I don't know how much truth is in it, but you see, like, these islands or whatever, they find bones for humans that were, like, 10 feet tall.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Or, like, they found a cave full of, like, what they call hobbit bones.
Yeah.
So it's like, it just takes one thing in your DNA to change,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know. And that's not just us. That's any animal species out there. You know.
Well, at the Galapagos Islands, they have the largest turtles there because of the Galapagos. It's the climate, the climate that actually makes them bigger than they actually are. There's a lot of the species there are different breeds and are bigger than some of the normal.
Yep.
So just to get back to that situation, I mean that's how it is. You never know what's out there. Yep. It's a constant discovery every day, you know. But I would definitely do. I know you're not an outside person, but I'd go on a Bigfoot.
I'll hunt
I'd go on a Bigfoot.
Yeah, dude. I'll go on a hunt for a Sam Squanch, no problem.
That would actually be pretty cool. But I don't know. It would be like no, just a squirrel. Just a squirrel. What was that?
That's just a 10 foot tall squirrel with giant balls.
Yeah, that's cool.
Throwing
so we're gonna call this
trees
episode
at
the
us.
balls episode.
All about balls.
But yeah, I mean that's something that we always have to
we've never been
delve into.
Contacted about any kind of other investigations. Actually, we have been getting some emails lately, and it's not
more just they want information.
Well,
about
they
it.
don't really want investigations. They're just looking for guidance or help. One was a girl who's been followed by something her whole life. We saw some pictures, kind of cool. Second one was a lady bought a haunted dresser.
Oh yeah,
and the drawers open and close on their own. And that was it. No investigation wanted, just wanted to let us know.
So basically, you need a how-to book.
Yeah.
I mean, that type of stuff, we're okay with that. We welcome that. The only thing is that we have issues, not issues with, but, difficulty with is just seeing a picture. We don't know the environment that it's in. We don't know if it's a hot,
humid,
a house where it's humid and
trains
things
by.
can shrink and expand, that type of thing. Not saying that that's not true, but we also do know that there is the haunted collector that actually gets, there's items that can be attached, by a spirit, and you buy them at a flea market or a tag sale, and you bring something home.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like all the masks I have, some of them are for around the world, different states, different countries, and it's like I don't really know what's actually lashed onto it when you're bringing home. So it's kind of crazy in that way. Like anything could have came from anywhere, and you don't know what is actually on it.
Something can attach to anything.
Yeah.
It's just got to be.
Doesn't have to be a person.
Yeah, could be any reason. Like something. Someone liked this thing because they had fun with their neighbor playing with it or something like that.
Yeah, right. And that's why we cleanse every time we leave a place.
Every time.
Hi, kids. Mr. Boo here again. Tip number 2. Cleanse, cleanse, cleanse.
Make sure you cleanse, because if you don't...
And I'm not talking about washing your balls.
Balls again. Yep. So, yeah, I mean, if you guys want to go to our website, you have any pictures you want us to look at, that type of thing, haunted-wise, anyways. Just feel free to download some stuff, and we can take a look at it. And, like I said, the only thing that we have an issue with is not knowing the environment. But we welcome that information. If, you got an idea, if, someone's got a Sasquatch in their backyard, hey, we're down for that too. So
Mass doesn't have anything? We don't have anything here?
I don't know.
No phantoms, no nothing?
Let's look up.
Nobody hanging out? That's the weird thing. You got to figure, Mass is... I mean, we have, the witches and everything, Salem and all that stuff, but,
witches.
Abnormal things.
Monsters of New England, the Boston Globe.
Oh, we actually... What is that?
The Dover Demon! So that thing looks terrifying. It looks like...
Yes.
Bright orange, 4-foot-tall creature.
An alien and Pumpkinhead had a baby. Bigfoot.
Oh, he's cute.
Sea serpents. Thunderbird.
Hey, I saw one of those on the highway the other day.
It's not a car.
The Spectre Moose of northern Maine.
Look out.
Puckwudgies.
Yeah, well, that's
in the Bridgewater Triangle.
Thank
yeah,
you.
they're like little
Freetown.
Giant snakes. No, that's a New England thing to begin with.
I thought that was Florida.
That's all we got?
Yeah.
Let's see. 6
Massachusetts monsters that are spotted to this day.
Silver Lake
Monsters. The Beast of Truro. Gloucester Sea Serpent.
Really?
Yeah. Puckwudgie. The Dover Demon. The Thunderbird.
I've never heard of any of these.
Well, that's, the Bridgewater Triangle is...
Yeah. So there's not a gas leak there?
Is that right?
Yeah, right. It was hey.
These are all the ones in the world.
Really?
Yeah, they got a lot of stuff. Black skunk. The black shuck.
Well,
If I said black
skunks
skunk.
are real. I've seen them.
Yeah, Yeah, those are scary.
All right, so we kind of went off topic there a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, we got distracted, I should say.
Investigating.
Some big things in the works we can't talk about. Some things we did in the past we can't talk about yet.
Yeah,
We got a whole bunch of stuff we can't talk about.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but we can't
Yeah.
delve into it till it's released.
Yep. Just keep
Stay
checking out our
tuned.
social medias, I guess. Stuff's coming out. Let us know what you think. Feedback is always appreciated. Good, bad, in between. Please help us share.
So basically, any feedback's better than no feedback.
Yep.
Absolutely, anytime.
And give us some investigations, damn it. Give us some leads.
Yeah, we like to stay busy.
And then we got a special guest just walked in here. Fezzik. Come on, bud. Ladies and gentlemen, my oldest son, Fezzik. Come on, up. Can you say hi, bud? He doesn't talk too good. He's only 7. And you're not drinking coffee either. Give me a kiss.
He's only 7.
And he's also a dog. So he's one of my loves of my life.
Some dogs talk.
The other one is up in the bedroom because he's being punished. Bad. So, everyone, thank you once again for listening to another episode of People vs. Paranormal. We'll have some more stuff up for you soon. So in the meantime, check out the Facebook, the Instagram, the Twitter, the YouTube, and your daily newspaper, maybe. As always, I am your host, Ben.
I'm Tim.
And I'm Anthony. Rest in peace.